Hi everybody. Hi. So, like I stated in the last video, which was Backrooms, I pretty much found, or not found, but wanted to do Chapter 1 of Project Eden, which is a Danganronpa fan game. But as I was installing Project Eden, this game soon popped up on my radar, and kinda wanna do this one first, because this seems like it is the full game, and not just Chapter 1, which Project Eden is only Chapter 1. Nothing wrong with that, but I'm curious what this one is, because it's something I haven't heard of either. So that's why I kind of want to explore this. So, let's hop in. No. Right click. Okay. Auto off. Okay. The heart of man is very much like the sea. It has its storms, and it has its tides, and... Ring. Okay. What is that sound? I don't know. A phone? A doorbell? Okay. Oh. Oh, it's an alarm clock. Yeah. Ooh. What are we doing? I open my heavy eyelids to an unfamiliar room. Oh. Guess I was asleep, but where am I? This isn't my room. Oh no. I turned my head the right to see a small old-fashioned alarm clock on the nightstand. The time read 7:30. Okay, 7:30. In the morning or evening? I reached over to stop the alarm when suddenly I felt a dull pain on the back of my head. Ow. I sat up from the bed to rub my head and shut off the alarm. The pain subsided quickly, and it was then did I fully take in my surroundings. I found myself in a comfortable room. Soft lighting rested against the warm-colored walls, the furniture was devoid of any dust or dirt, and the bed itself was extremely plush. An unsealing painting hung just above my head. I scooted from the center of the bed, kicked my feet out from under the covers, and began perusing the room of its amenities. A roomy closet, a small writing desk in the corner, and a single bathroom. It was overall a rather luxurious room without seeming overly elegant in its design. The room is comfortable enough, but how on earth did I get here? Am I imagining this? I hope I didn't hit my head. I went to the bathroom, turned the cold tap, and let my cupped hands fill with the crisp water before splashing my face. Oh, okay, so this is what we look like. Alright, the chill snapped my senses awake as I took a moment to collect myself. Well, as far as I can tell, at least I'm in one piece. I noticed my everyday coat was on a hanger behind me. I pulled the coat on and adjusted myself. What is your talent? Who are you? What is your ultimate? What is thy name? It wouldn't hurt to recall the basics. Okay. My name is Echo Pine. Ooh. I'm a student at Calm Mind Institution, coming toward the end of my final year. My best friend is Ashley. Ashley? The last thing I remembered was seeing my best friend Ashley off for the day as she went to take care of her horses. Ashley, I wonder if she made it home alright. I admit I was a little less thorough in making sure she made it into her house that late afternoon, but I'm sure she's alright. Or I hope. Ooh. I racked my brain thinking about that evening. Ooh. Aw. Alright, thanks for the lift. Aw. And be careful with your ankle. I can't believe you insist on driving even though it's sprained. It's no problem at all. Besides, my ankle is almost done healing, so it's no big deal. It's not like I drive with that foot anyway. I'm just worried since I can't walk you to the door. I want to see if Applejack was in a petting mood tonight. My house is right there. You don't need to worry. And if she is, I'll make sure to give that kitty a good scratching for you. Alright, thanks. Night, Ash. Oh, so Applejack is the cat, not the horse. Okay. Good night, Echo. I thought it would be the horse named Applejack. I left the car in park and watched as Ashley crossed the lawn. I declined putting any more strain on my left ankle since it was still recovering from a sprain, but I remained vigilant. Her porch light wasn't on, so as she got closer to the house, she faded into the evening shadows. I waited a few more minutes until I heard her front door close. Okay. Okay, time to get back. I shifted back into drive and let the wheels crawl before accelerating. But upon my slow graze across the gravel, I didn't see her living room light turn on. I was worried, but I was certain I heard her front door close. Was I really certain, though? Remember clearly driving off, not seeing her living room lights on either. Oh. Nothing. Okay. I'm like, did I have auto on or off? Suddenly a darkness welled up inside me. Was I in this strange, unknown remote location because I didn't make sure my friend was safe in her house? No, that would be absurd. Those two things can't be linked together just because I was less cautious than usual. I combed through the room once more and realized I didn't have any of my personal possessions on hand or in the room itself. No phone to call Ashley to make sure she's okay. Sure, there was an ancient landline service phone in the room, but I didn't know where I was to begin with. I started to panic. I had to get out of here. I got so caught up in both my head and an unprovoked fear that I threw the door open with full force, nearly hitting the person just outside. That person just happened to be Ashley! Whoa, watch it, Ash. Huh? Echo? It was strange. The very friend I thought I suffered a consequence for not making sure they made it home safe was staying right in front of me for some inexplicable reason. You're okay. Ashley Westbridge, a dear-old friend of mine. She's what some people would call a horse girl, which seems like a vague thing to call someone who just happens to tend to equines. Okay. Okay. That irreverent thought aside. Yeah, of course I'm okay. But what about you? You're pale as a ghost. Huh, I just got a little worked up is all. I woke up in this unknown place, and I thought it was because I didn't see your lights go on in your house before I drove off. I rattled off the thoughts that stirred my fears just moments ago. Echo, it's okay, you don't have to worry about a thing. I made it home to take care of Hyperion. All in one piece, I was just a little tired as all, so I went straight to the stables behind the house and took the back door entrance. So she didn't go through the front? Uh-oh. Oh. That's... Sorry I worried you. Ashley wrapped me in a big familiar hug and I immediately felt calm. Aww. Thanks, Ash. I know I shouldn't get so worked up about stuff like that, but sometimes I can't help it. You know, one thought led to another and I just jumped to the worst possible conclusion. Oh, Echo, you needn't fret so much. You'll make yourself sick with worry. However, I can totally understand where your worry might come from, especially in this scenario. Yeah, just where are we? Yes, that is the question. With my mind and heart at ease, I discussed the situation with Ashley. I told her that I woke up not long ago thanks to the provided alarm clock, and her experience was just the same. She too felt this dull pain of a lingering headache upon awakening, and she too felt a brief moment of confusion due to the unknown setting. I couldn't find any of my possessions in my room. I tried to find my phone to call you, but no luck. I don't have anything of note in my room either. I don't have any of my things with me, like my satchel or phone. It's odd, although there aren't any answers to the obvious questions like, how did we get here, where are my things, etc., etc. I strangely feel comfortable here. I think it might be that super plush bed. Not going to lie, I'd really like that back home. We left among ourselves and decided to explore what seemed to be some sort of mansion. I still felt uneasy, but thanks to seeing a familiar face, I felt a little safer. I closed my door behind me, noticing there was a plaque that was adorned with the symbol of my high school. Looking further down the hall, the various other door plaques share the same features. I spotted Ashley's right away as well. It seems her room was just adjacent to mine across the hall. Looks like there are other students here as well, other plaques with school emblems, I'm assuming. Seems that way, although I haven't ran into anyone else. Not literally like you, of course. Very funny. The hall interior was all very ornate, with dark wood lining the walls and candles something lighting the path. The dark wood floor was covered in a thick woven rug that created a path toward an opening in the hallway. I think I can hear some others down the hall. Ashley took the lead as we curiously walked through the hall, taking in the ambience as we gazed at the miscellaneous paintings of nature that hung on the walls. The sound of lively conversation grew louder as we approached the connecting room. Who is it? And honestly, this is a full blind reaction. I don't know any of the characters. I don't know who's in this or what's happening. So, Sure enough, there were 3 other people having a lively chat in the foyer. You two, good of you to make it. I was wondering how many other people were going to come around. I could just count how many doors with plaques there are in the living quarters hallways. I'm not attentive enough for something like that. I'll just figure it out from how many of you I meet up with. Fair enough. You're awfully carefree, aren't you? Yeah, it's because I have good company with you lovely folks. Aww. Aw, come on. What's with the cold shoulders? I'm just here to have a good time. Person with a hat continuing preoccupying his present less than willing company with his lively conversation. Quietly took in the atmosphere of the foyer before approaching the group. The main clearing was huge. It featured a shiny white marble floor extending into 2 spiraling staircases on either side of its circular walls. An elevator resided in the center of the wall opposite from the front door. A beautiful grand chandelier hung from the center of a marble ceiling just above a modest table at ground level. The wooden table itself was rather bare, only containing a decorative flower vase and a very polite note printed on premium-grade cardstock. Speaker, thank you for joining us on this monumentous occasion. Please make your welcome official by signing in utilizing the bracelets that have been provided. Simply tap the bracelet to the digital kiosk that is located at the foot of the stairs. Okay. I was about to say, that bracelet situation sounds kind of sketchy. Almost like in the anime where they had the bracelets that, had deadly poison if they did some action. But okay. I lifted my left wrist to see the bracelet in question. It was a light, simple thing, a rose gold plate with my name on it strung into a bracelet with a small chain of the same color. I hadn't even noticed it until now. Actually, I was admiring hers just as I did. Her bracelet hung on her right wrist, just above her own wood cuff bracelet. I looked over at the other students' wrists as well, and they all had the same thing, albeit presumably with their own names. What was the purpose of these things anyway? Rather than get absorbed in wondering about the small decoration, I decided to join in small conversation. Okay. Whomst are you all? Oh, there. Have you 3 already scanned your bracelets? Yes. We all convened here just a few minutes ago. I would recommend you scan your bracelet on the kiosk as well, since it grants access to rooms after the welcome. Oh well, then don't mind if I do. I went over to the aforementioned kiosk that was nestled strangely within the luxurious decor. The kiosk displayed a simple map of the first floor layout by default. The foyer led to 4 locations: the living quarters, the dining hall, the study, and the theater. Okay. Ooh. I held up my wrist close to the screen, and it quickly detected my bracelet, displaying a sparse summary of information, my name and a profile picture. Echo Pine. Thank you for signing in. You may now roam the first floor freely. Here's the thing that I'm wondering. Well, I mean, the first murder is probably going to happen at night. The main reason why I say this is the map. It looks so small. Like, the spaces look small. In the sense of, like, you have the kitchen, the theater, the living quarters, and the last room. I forgot what the last room was. But you only have access to those 4 rooms. If one of those rooms becomes locked, people are gonna know that something's happening there. So, Your bracelet corresponds to your room and your room alone. They are paramount to keeping your personal room and its belongings safe. Please take care of it. Is there a rule about using a deceased person's, though? Please make yourself comfortable with all the given accommodations, and once again, welcome. The screen went to the original map screen as it was before. I scanned my bracelet. I stepped aside to let Ashley sign in as well, and in the meantime, got to introducing myself to the other students. Hey there, I'm Echo Pine, and this is my friend, Ashley Westbridge. Nice to meet you all. Likewise, I'm Arturo Campopiano. But just art is completely fine. Okay. Missy Vesper, the pleasure is all mine. Canon Ota? Have you all met before? That would be a negative. Nothing like making new friends, though, right? Kanon said nothing, instead letting out a loud sigh with absolutely no subtlety in her, hiding her annoyance towards Art's enthusiasm. Oh no! Poor Art. I see. That said, you mentioned you two are acquainted? Oh yeah. We were pen pals the summer before high school started, and we just became close over time. It's quite endearing. Oh, thank you. I didn't expect that kind of answer from Missy. Maybe she's the type to secretly cry at romantic movies. Aww. Well, if we're all signed in, why don't we visit the dining hall? I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel tea is in order after waking up. I'm in favor of that idea. I'd like to explore afterwards as well. Yeah, I wonder who else we're going to run into. This is exciting. Missy walked briskly toward the dining hall, which was just opposite of the living quarters hall, where we entered the foyer. Art followed quickly after, which just left Kanon back in the giant clearing. Okay. I'll explore at my own pace, thank you. Okay. Okay, I suppose we'll see you later? With a curt and definitive statement, Kanon made her case stating that she was going to stay put in the foyer. Ashley and I followed the other two into the dining hall, leaving Kanon to her business. New people? The dining hall was rather small and intimate. A single large woodcraft table and modest chandelier created the centerpiece. A black marble fireplace with a natural painting hanging just above decorated the far wall. The table setting bore 16 chairs, 14 on each side and 2 on the heads of the table. The table was already decorated with light accessories, candelabra, small vases of flowers, and an encyclopedia about ships. Okay. Also, I feel like the students are going to argue about who should sit at the heads of the table. I feel like that's going to be an argument between a few of the people. The room itself was connected to a small kitchen, one with the usual kitchen staple appliances, an oven, a refrigerator, a large dishwashing sink, gas range, and all the utensils and tools one might need. A small storehouse pantry was off to the side, with nothing of readily edible interest to the common person. Oh, this place is super loaded, huh? Art made a beeline for the 2 side rooms, poking in and out of the dining hall between the pantry and the kitchen. Missy, on the other hand, gazed slowly around at the dining hall itself. It's a very fine setting, but not so much that it feels oppressively high-end. Yep, everything looks to be in order for a good meal. Ooh. Art finally stopped pacing around and sat at one of the seats, kicking his feet up on the table as he looked around the room. Missy noticeably shook her head at the action. But, where's everyone? This place seats, like, a bunch of people, but there are only 5 of us. Wonder if no one else woke up yet. Maybe others ignore their alarms. Some people like to sleep in and all. I approached the natural painting above the fireplace, admiring the soft colors and brushwork. As I stood in front of it, the painting faded out to reveal what looked to be an emblem. Following the display of the emblem screen, an announcement came from overhead speakers within the room, the voice silvery and modulated. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a lovely stay. Feel free to utilize the kitchen to your heart's content, or if you are unable to, you may use the automated cook feature by tapping your bracelet onto the kitchen's digital kiosk and selecting a meal. Or if neither of those suit your particular taste, you may consult your group's ultimate level kitchen hand. Ooh, we got a kitchen hand. Nice. The emblem disappeared, returning the screen to its initial artwork display. But what did that mean? What's an ultimate level kitchen hand? I turned to ask one of the other students, but it looked like Art had already figured it out. Or rather, figured something out. Whatever he started going on about next made no sense to me. Oh, I get it. This is the safe house a private group provided for us, since we signed up for the preservation project. Huh? You signed up to be here? Yeah, of course. If I guess correctly, we all seem to be ultimate students. There are some serious ultimate vibes in this room, don't you think? Yes, that seems to be the case. What's an ultimate student? Don't tell me you don't know. Oh man. What are you even doing here? Ultimate students are typically high school students that super excelled in their field of expertise. They are often scouted by groups with various intentions, virtues, or nefarious. They will often have a focused set of skills that makes their abilities desirable to certain people and with good reason. If there's a talent you can think of, there's probably an ultimate student out there that'll knock your socks off with their amazingness. So you're saying everyone here is super talented? You're kidding, right? You've been walking around this whole time with Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate jockey, and didn't even know? Oh! Jockey! Nice! Huh? Ultimate jockey? I don't really talk about my talent outside my usual day-to-day. I've heard of Ashley Westbridge's accomplishments. She can wrangle just about any horse and ride them to victory. It's quite impressive to be able to tame such creatures in any variety nonetheless. However, I've read that you excel best with your main partner, Hyperion, a Pinto Trackner? Oh my, I didn't realize my achievements were so widely regarded. It's a little embarrassing hearing others remark upon them. Oh, even so. I looked over to Ashley, who, despite the sudden grandeur, looked as modest as ever. Honestly, I just thought you were a typical horse girl. I don't know whether to find that humbling or insulting to my talent. So Ashley held the title of Ultimate Jockey, huh? I was curious to know what that implied. I never knew her to be particularly eccentric when it came to her lifestyle at the stables. For how long during our relationship did she have that title? Enough about me, what about you two? I admit I can't really put a talent to either of your names. With this newfound knowledge of the situation, I was curious to learn about the other students here. Art. Whom's? Your name is Art, right? May I ask what your talent is? Hiking. Hiking or mountain climbing? Shirt looks like it's a mountain. Jacket tied around the waist. Hat I feel like would be mountain climbing. I'm the ultimate golfer. Okay. Well, I'll never miss my mark. Total holes in one all day, every day. Wow, how did you manage that? I don't know. I can't stand having to put more energy into extra strokes, so I make the first and last one count. What kind of reasoning was that to become a pro golfer? That's an interesting way to go about it. I can't even imagine being able to control a club like that. It took a lot of practice, for sure. I used to golf a lot with my grandpa. It was all in good fun back in the day, so I guess I never really thought about it as work, you know. I've flubbed a few times, sure, but who doesn't? That's fair. Art seems to have taken a lot of pride with his title. It's admirable. Okay, what about you, Missy? What those individual groups or institutions do with the students is beyond me. I've not heard many stories of success or failure from anyone who's had the luxury of being accepted. In any case, don't take much stock in the title, is all I'm saying. I have to admit, though, I am rather curious of the titles now that the subject has been brought up. That's understandable. I am the ultimate tactician. Ooh. Okay. Tactician, like battle tactics? No, it's more like political campaign tactics and strategies. Less interesting of the two people we usually think of. Okay. I've been at the forefront of numerous political campaigns and battles, many of which have been employed to strategize by opposing forces. Really, aren't you basically manipulating the winner outcome, though? The choice is not mine, but the people's. I simply put the message out, framing it in the most self-beneficial way possible for each side. I think political campaigns can be interesting, but wouldn't Ultimate Campaign Manager be a more appropriate title? Well, I'm not the one who came up with the title. I see. Missy seems to be a very self-assured person who doesn't seem to care much for the extravagance an Ultimate title implies. Okay. Such captivating talents. I'd love to watch one of your games art. Oh, that's nothing. I bet horse racing is much more interesting. Indeed, your feats of athleticism are quite impressive. Yeah, I admit, it's hard to imagine. It's really not such a big deal, Echo. Honestly, the whole Ultimate Student thing feels a tad blown out of proportion. Since Ashley was done with the praise, I shifted the topic. Well, now that we're all acquainted, why don't we look around some more? Looks like there's more to be seen upstairs. Oh yes, it was a pleasure talking to you two. Don't be a stranger, we can explore together. Art's echoing voice sounded through the dining hall. Oh man, the kitchen features are cool. What's this? Clunk. On second thought, I might keep an eye out on her for a little. I'm sure he won't mind the company. Well, we found the menace. Mr. Art. Alright, we'll see you around. We found the menace. Kanon, you still here? Stepping out of the dining hall into the foyer once more. Didn't stay for long. The foyer was devoid of her presence. Where to? There are stairs going up, but I think we should check out the entirety of this floor first. I was thinking the same. Why don't you pick where we go next? Sure. Our locations are the study and the That's what it was, study. Let's visit the study. Go to the study. The study was cramped, encyclopedias that filled to the ceiling covered an abundance of subjects ranging anywhere from medical to athletic. There was a small office corner provided for studying the tomes in relative ease. Yeah. So this is what I was saying earlier. Everything seems small. So the first murder is going to have to happen at night. Another digital kiosk stood off to the side, showing a searchable list of books in the study. Ashley observed the kiosk curiously as I gawked at the variety of reading material stuffed in the shelves. Wow, this equestrian encyclopedia was published only 2 years ago. I have an old version, so this could be really interesting. You would be excited about that. Well, now that you know I'm the ultimate jockey, it all makes sense. Man, you're still the same old horse girl I know, but with a fancy title. There were 2 other students taking residence in the library, one meekly hiding in the corner, the other calmly leafing through their book of choice. Aww. Hi. I approached the meek student standing in one of the darker corners of the study. Hey there. Eep. Oh, sorry to spook you. I was just going around meeting everyone. I'm Echo Pine. I was dragged out of my room by that guy over there. Oh no, he's evil. Peered over at the aforementioned person who just looked to be calmly inspecting the rows of books. Fine, he didn't drag me out. I ran into him when I was wandering around. I just wanted to be alone in the study. She shot me a troubled glance after admitting her lie. Can you tell me about yourself? Me? I'm Sei Kono. I'm a watchmaker. Would you then, by chance, be called the ultimate watchmaker? Yeah, I guess you could say that. I just tinker with watches and stuff. They go for really high prices, apparently, but I don't particularly care for the money. Say. Okay. we have a watchmaker, a tactician, golfer, an equestrian. No, a jockey. Someone once offered me 3 luxury cars for a single watch. Oh my goodness. You must have some very well admired craftsmanship. I guess so, but can't even drive. What was I going to do with 3 cars? She climbed up and awkwardly turned back around to face the bookshelf corner. I didn't want to pry, so I just left her alone. Palm Street. I feel like you have a digital. Green-haired student noticed me approaching him and deftly flipped his book shut with one hand, giving me his full attention. Good morning. I immediately felt that attention to be mere palpable from his focused gaze alone. Are you finding everything alright? The study has quite a pleasant atmosphere, wouldn't you agree? Oh, yes, it's very well accommodated. The study as well as the rest of the facility are all nicely prepared. Indeed, you could spend days in this well-kept study enriching your mind in regards to whatever subject your heart desires. Does that sound like an inviting prospect? I don't see why not. A location for ultimate students should be in peak condition, right? This preservation project situation seems to be equipped for comfort. So you've been made aware of the preservation project. He hesitated as if chewing meticulously on his next statement. You have an ultimate talent? If I'm being honest, I'm not sure I even know what my talent is, considering that the situation seems to revolve around it. Everyone I've met so far has some kind of title. I admire Condor. Who knows? You might have some innate skills that you personally think are average. Think so? I feel pretty ordinary, and I've never really been the center of mass attention for anything in particular. The skill might just require a specific habitat, so to speak. Luckily, this appears to be the ideal place and social environment for expanding upon such hidden abilities. However, I wouldn't worry much about it. Whatever underlying passion or talent you have is for you and you alone to enjoy. That's reassuring. I feel like I've stumbled into something out of my league with so many skilled students. If you don't mind me asking, what's your ultimate talent? It's hard to describe. I'm called the ultimate charisma. Cyrus? By the way... Okay. Cyrus? Cyrus Surus? Cyrus Surus. Cerise? Nice to meet you. Back at you, a pleasure. I didn't really understand the implication of his title, but I could feel a sort of alluring presence to him. I suppose that's what charisma is. After meeting the 2 others in the study, Ashley and I chatted about the other students. So we met Say and Cyrus, a watchmaker and charismatic person, respectively. I suppose one could become talented at improving their characteristics if they wanted to. Could be similar to him managing a brand, perhaps. Maybe. Regardless, they seem nice enough. Yeah, Say seems sweet, if not a little shy. Yeah. Let's go to the theater next. Say, Cyrus, Hanum, Missy, Hart. Ashley and I walked across the hallways to our next location, the theater. The theater was something to behold. Although it was a fairly intimate scene with few row seats and a medium-sized stage. It still had an air of elegance thanks to the decor. The rich red velvet curtains glowed underneath the gaze of a bright spotlight. The stage why did the music cut out? Hello? The stage itself was occupied by 3 students who seemed to be having a heated discussion. Oh, that's why it cut out. Okay. You really want to stand up by that theory? Oh, no. Musician? Musician? Some sort of music? Or why does he have a scar? A musician? Hey, to each their own. I'm not knocking you for not thinking the obvious. Let's settle down, please. Absolutely not. I have no intention of changing my view for the scoundrel. Jeez, scoundrel, that's cold, especially to a stranger. You two don't need to get so heated about something like this. It's an important matter between 2 strongly opinionated people. So we agree on that matter. Maybe I should cut in. Or what's going on here? The 3 turn around, surprised, presumably from not being able to see me at the unlit foot of the stage. Need you ask such a foolish question? We are discussing the dire and apparently questionable existence of this. white-haired student crouched down to reveal a painting that was turned away from the audience. It was a framed picture of what looked like ink block. Are they serious? Are you kidding me? Are they saying what they think they see? Oh, I see. You're trying to figure out what the painting is? Yes. What do you see? Stared at it for a moment, but looked up at the two patiently in all seriousness, waiting for my answer. I'll have to think about it. No immediate answer. I felt his judging eyes pierce my soul. It's a dog. Not everything has to be a dog. It's clearly an elephant. I saw neither. So it's just a different four-legged animal. The conversation seemed pretty heated. I might have better luck if I just talk to them individually. Let's go with the apron wearing one. She seems the most calm. I was caught in the middle of the quarrel, stepped down from the stage, and left the other two to glare at each other in silence. Pandora Spera? Nice to meet you. Likewise, I'm Echo Pine. Echo Pine. I hope we get along. Florist? Perfumist? Or kitchen hand? So I was informed that this little group of students is composed of students that have ultimate talents. Did you happen to have a title of some sort? Oh, yes. I am known as the Ultimate Baker. Okay. Ultimate Baker. Yeah, makes sense. And yourself? About that, I don't seem to know. I don't think I have one, if I'm being honest. That's no matter. It doesn't make you any more or less of a person. So what do you think of the painting is? I'm not really sure myself, but for something as ambiguous as that, it can be whatever the viewer wants it to be. I suppose so. Perhaps it isn't the subject of this piece that is most important, but rather it is the emotions it conveys to the individual. Black and white are quite striking differences. Striking colors to work with, are they not? There's a lot of symbolism behind those two simple colors. I can only wonder if the artist behind the piece enjoyed creating it. Their art wouldn't have come to life otherwise, so I don't see why not. I agree. She's such a warm presence. Okay. I'm gonna deal with the menace first. I'm gonna deal with this other menace. I'm gonna deal with the negative menace. Or maybe not negative, I shouldn't. Well, I got Kokichi vibes from him. He feels like he is being Kokichi. But I could be wrong. I approached the student wearing the fur-lined coat. Oh, wait. So, about the painting, I think I do see the dog. Huh? You don't have to lie. I don't care about what it is. In fact, I don't even know what the painting is either, so I made... Never mind. He's the Kokichi. He's the Kokichi. A dog is an easy thing to imagine. It's just a practice of... The act of perceiving the subject for significance where there is no meaningful interpretation. For example, seeing objects in collapse formations or hearing indistinct voices and random noise. And in this case, seeing a dog in an abstract painting. Dogs are common enough animals, yeah? Who doesn't like to think about dogs? I stared at the painting a little bit longer. The more I looked at it, the more I willed it into being what he said it was, even if he did make it up. Here's the thing, I don't know what I'm seeing, because right here I'm like, I see a person's face, I see a bird, I see like one of those toy horses. Like, as a big picture, I see nothing. But individual elements, I'm like, I see a face, like the toy maker from Doctor Who. And then it's also the thing here too of like this could be the genie's lamp, and I'm like, I don't see anything. I don't. I'm sorry. Or it's just a cat, a horse, and a mouse sitting around on a cliffside. By being told about what the subject was, I couldn't make out anything within the shapes. Yeah, Isn't it a little cruel to make something up when he's so intense about it? I just wanted him to explain why he saw what he did, but he truly wouldn't. So much for friendly discussion. To each their own, I suppose. Well, anyway, I'm just going around meeting everyone. I would tell you my talent if I had one. You don't have an ultimate title, or you can't remember. Be muttering under his breath about my last statement, but I paid him no mind and waited for his response. I'm Lyle Termina, the ultimate puzzle master. Connoisseur of word puzzles, block puzzles, escape room puzzles, the like. So that's why you're a menace. Okay. You are a puzzler. Now, if you don't mind. Dramatic to the painting, ending our conversation abruptly. Puzzles, huh? Maybe he was trying to unscramble the shapes in that painting. Okay, point here, student. Please tell me you have some sort of music talent. So, about the painting, I think I do see the elephant. No need to feign understanding. I am quite self-assured that the painter's intention was to illustrate an elephant as abstract as it appears. Stare at the painting a little bit longer. No. Yeah, no. Do you have an eye for this kind of thing? An eye for abstract art? My friend, I am not an ultimate artist. I'm the ultimate opera singer. Okay, so he does... Music! Yes, I was right. Music. Although, there's... Oh. No. He ran... Oh, that was... Okay, that was... What did you even say? Although there is a rhetoric stating the idea that the author is dead, so my interpretation is just as valid since interpreting is an art form as well. Therefore, what I do as a performer could be an extension of that rhetoric, being as I am encompassing a written character on stage, acting and projecting suggested emotion while utilizing my own interpretation of the experience. Rambled on about something a bit further before stopping himself. Right. But where are my manners? Forte solo. I'm sure. Forte solo. Okay. Ultimate opera singer. Okay. Yeah. Because I'm like, I recognize this as some sort of music element. I just couldn't pin down what. Because I'm also like, the scar in the eye was throwing me off. Because at first I was like, could he be a string instrument player? Because the only reason why is I feel like he could have had a tragic backstory of like something with a violin or something. Like he tightened the string too much and it snapped. I know that's not tragic, but I mean, who knows? He gave a deep bow as he introduced himself. Slowly rose and went to look at the painting some more, indicating an end to the conversation. Sure has some interestingly placed dramatic moments. Ashley and I left Forte and Lyle to have their spat in peace. Pandora stayed behind, trying still to settle down. Ew, Forte and Lyle were kind of intense, huh? I'll say. Never really had a sharp eye for art, so what they were talking about is beyond me, and Pandora or Brave were trying to calm them down. It takes a certain kind of person to want to intervene when things get heated, huh? Yeah. Calm down. After wandering around the first floor, Ashley and I paused in the living quarters, halfway together our thoughts. So those are all the available locations on this floor. I guess the rooms are interesting enough, but more importantly, I wonder just how many other students there are. That other student from earlier, Kanon, just counted the doors, right? Why don't we go check it out? But who knows if there are more students on other floors. There were stairs going up in the foyer, so we could check that area out too. And speaking of Kanon, I wonder what her talent is. Wait, aside, how did I never know you had a super talent in horse racing? Huh? Well, it just never came up. I knew a lot of people before you who didn't particularly care for how much time I spend at the stables and racetracks, so I just stopped bringing it up. Besides, it's just easier to tell people I tend to horses. So what does being an ultimate level jockey imply? Does that mean you win a lot? Come on, Echo. I don't want to bore you with superficial numbers. Oh, just say my win percentage is 44% and top 3 percentage is 84%. Ooh. I don't know what are those numbers supposed to be. Anyway, I'm not just a horse girl. I have other pets too. Yeah, like your cat, Applejack. course she'd remember Applejack. How could I not? She clawed up all my school vests. The deep ringing of a school bell rang across the halls, echoing through the building. Okay. Then an announcement came over what seemed to be hidden overhead speakers in the ceiling. It is now 9 a.m. The second floor amenities are now open and will stay open until 7 p.m. Oh, okay. Okay. Never mind, a murder can happen in a day now. Because there is a second floor. Oh, second floor? After the announcement, we saw Pandora filter out of one of the first floor rooms and into the halls. Oh, Ashley and Echo, would you like to visit the second floor with me? Sure, we were just wondering about it as well. By the way, did you get anything to eat from the dining hall? No? Oh, no. I was a little distracted by the whole Ultimate Students thing. You're in luck. I made some croissants earlier. Help yourself. Oh, she produced two items folded in cloth from her apron pocket. I accepted the small cloth covered delight and unwrapped it carefully, revealing a small bite-sized croissant. A heavenly warm aroma filled the hall. From the fragrance alone, I was enveloped in the comfort of feeling the sun's rays on my skin. Okay. Ashley and I took one each and bite into the flaky, buttery dough. A piece of chocolate inside melted as soon as it hit my tongue. It was smooth and rich, contrasting the light and sweet crumb of the dough housing it. Ooh. Aww, the art. Ultimate baker for you. It's nothing at all. I just really enjoy baking. I can't speak French. I'm sorry. The look on people's faces when they smell delectable fresh bread coming out of the oven, the warm fuzzy feeling you get when you eat your favorite food. Such a feeling is priceless. Pandora was right. After enjoying the croissant, I felt an intense nostalgia for my younger days, when I would spend summers running around outside, basking in the fresh afternoon sunlight. I would be very concerned if you were barking. That was the power of the ultimate baker's delicacies, to invoke a warmth and sense of familiarity. What a wonderful thing. Yes. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I noticed you two are quite close. Have you met before? Echo's my best friend. We've known each other for 4 years now. A long friendship is something to cherish. Definitely. Echo's always been there for me, even if they are a little worrisome. Hey, how could you say that? I'm just looking out for you. I did, of course. I really appreciate your concern, but you should think about yourself sometimes, too. Pandora smiled slightly as we had our little back and forth. Sorry, why don't we get going? Alright, shall we? Oh. Why do I feel like Pandora's gonna be, like, the sweet third wheel to a lot of things? Like, not relationships, but just probably gonna be around at the tender moments. And not so much, like, actually interact and talk, but just be around. I don't know. 3 of us walked back down the hallway toward the foyer, or the stairs to the second floor. Hey Pandora, did you meet anyone else this morning? Anyone else? I can't say I have. So far I've only been acquainted with you two, Forte and Lyle. Oh, sorry, I thought you might have run into a few others like we have. This morning I went to the dining hall, then the theater. Unfortunately, Forte and Lyle kept me from going anywhere else with their argument. We didn't see you, then you must have woke up much earlier than us, huh? That's correct. I suppose you could say my internal clock has been tuned to my habits, given my day-to-day life. I wake up very early to make sure my dough from the night before has properly risen. If there are any glazes I might need, prep my workstation. Oh, but I must be boring you with my daily routine. No, not at all. It's fascinating, honestly. You're sweet, Echo. Perhaps I'll invite you to help me tomorrow morning. Hope you're awake at 4:30 a.m. Yippee! Oh, sure. I can't promise I'll be fully awake, though. Pandora laughed lightly in jest as she went on her merry way up the stairs. Aww. Ooh. Ashley and I followed suit, and we were met with another digital kiosk at the top of the staircase. Atrium Spa Lounge Climbing Center Jazz Club. Ooh. What kind of mansion has a climbing center in it? Maybe the owner is an eccentric rock climber? I think the assortment of activities is presented to cater to the unique talents of various students. In fact, the kitchen pantry has a wealth of resources. I was quite surprised to find such fresh and rare ingredients. I imagine other ultimate chefs would be pleased with the selection as well. That's a good point. There is a theater on the first floor, after all. Forte and other ultimate performers probably utilize the room as a place to further hone their skills. Preservation project. It seemed like this group wanted to accommodate a myriad of intense and unique students. But how would this benefit Ashley? Because she needs horses. I wondered what kind of group had the ability to provide such a vast selection of activities and resources. Where to first? Curious about the climbing subject. This mansion must be huge if it can house something exciting like that. I'd like to see the spa lounge. It must be a lovely, relaxing place. Why don't you decide? What? Okay. Climbing center. The climbing center, we inspected the map for a route to the center and made our way there in no time at all. And like, here's the thing. Reason why climbing center first. You can't go to a spa and then start climbing around. You gotta do the thing that will be more strenuous and then relax later. Ya hear? Ooh. The climbing center was a vibrant, spacious place. The artificial rock and arch formations that carved walls reached upwards of what looked to be 3 stories high toward a bright, naturally lit ceiling. Off to the side was a preparation locker room full of ropes and harnesses, as well as a small vending machine full of energy drinks and water bottles. Well, this place is huge. I can't imagine how anyone gets up there. Craned my neck up, inspecting the array of colorful grips that dotted the sprawling ascending surface. The hanging ropes disappeared into the distance of the light. The world is certainly full of interesting people and talents. Where there's a will, there is a way. Pandora poked out from under one of the arch formations, just as taken with the incredible height as I was. That's for sure. I'm an athlete, but I can't say I excel here. I don't really have a good tolerance for heights. Don't mind me asking, how did you two discover your talents anyway? Ashley pondered the question for a second. I was raised in the countryside on a farm, so it probably came to me like second nature. As a child, going to the racetrack with my father was honestly just another errand. That is, until he let me ride the horses myself. I felt a love for the exhilarating competition at that point. I was homeschooled by my mothers, one a teacher and one a prolific baker. They taught me everything I know about baking. I also cherished the enjoyment people felt when tasting my baked goods. Eventually, I too felt a love for the task at hand. Aww. Well, you two are truly incredible. Aww. Okay, you're an incredible person too. Don't let labels deter you from speaking to us as anything but your peers. No? I don't know about all that. Yeah, Echo. Don't think too much about the title stuff. We're still people, you know? Don't think too much about the title stuff. Such a remarkable feats would be difficult to put aside. Yeah. They were so humble when talking about their ultimate talents. I wondered if I could ever measure up. Yeah, you got this. After wandering around the climbing center, we set off to visit the spa lounge. Oh, no one was here. Oh. Interesting. I thought someone would be here. Spa lounge was serene and welcoming. A shallow pool was laid into the marble floor. A mesmerizing opalescent ceiling mirrored the pool above it. Several simple relaxation loungers lined the walls for general leisure. Off to the side was a storeroom stocked with a perfumey inventory of scented oils, bath soaps, and skincare products. Just by the storeroom doorway sat a familiar kiosk. I'd love to spend some time here. Pandora sat in one of the lounge chairs, stretching her arms above her head before relaxing her hands on her lap. Oh, but now that I think about it, are facilities like this meant to be self-run by the residing students? brought up an interesting observation. The kitchen offered fully automated meals, but they still provided the option of having the student utilize the kitchen and tools. Peeking into the storeroom, I saw a separate hallway of individual private rooms labeled for certain services: facial, massage, aromatherapy. Hey, yeah, you might be right. There are all these little specialized rooms with all sorts of specific equipment. You consider my talent in arts. There might be a racetrack or golf course outside, along with other outdoor recreation talents like angling or skiing. Perhaps that would be a very exciting prospect. That could mean all the other facilities and activities have features that are tuned according to certain talents. Yeah, just from a glance, I figured the study was just a library, but I suppose there are resources there as well that are fitted for talents that require research or writing. To think such an extraordinary place this is to benefit the many pursuits of equally extraordinary people. So do either of you do anything special to train for being an ultimate student? Eh? Although some could say I beg too much, I simply suspect my pastries have ended up in the right hands for me to be considered. I don't really do anything special either. I also race quite a bit, but most of my time is spent plainly practicing, like Pandora. Or maybe have been a scout in the audience. I honestly couldn't say. See, just putting in the hours, so to speak, huh? Perhaps we were just lucky enough to have been selected for this opportunity to meet others cut of the same thoughts, right? We couldn't agree more. I'm very charmed to be in such delightful company. Neither of them seemed to be doing anything particularly intensive to earn their title. I wondered about the others, whether or not they were trained or if they too were just lucky enough to be selected. Ooh. Wandering about to our last destination, we finally came across the jazz club. It was a welcoming venue. Warm furniture and lighting gave the room an air of a casual elegance. Table settings for the audience occupied the majority of the space, with a small stage in this corner for the performers. Close proximity between the two made the scene that much more intimate. A small green room was behind the stage curtains and connected to it with the equipment and instrument storage. The bar opposite the stage had shelves upon shelves of beverages locked behind a sturdy glass case. Pretty classy atmosphere, huh? Wonder how many ultimate talents have toured this room for performances. Many, I'm sure. It's well kept among the rest of the room, so it'd be no surprise one would feel comfortable here. Then a thought crossed my mind. Do you think I could be some kind of ultimate jazz performer or ultimate bartender? Do you have bartending knowledge or know how to sing? Have you ever handled an instrument before or mixed beverages? No, but who knows? If I pick something up, I'll suddenly be stricken with an ultimate talent revelation and play like a pro. Sarah said maybe it's an innate trait waiting to be discovered. Echo. Buddy. No. No, don't. He's comparing himself and is wanting a talent. But you're fine you're gonna be the ultimate debater. Or detective or something. Just occurred to me that perhaps these rooms aren't just for students with existing skills, but they could also be a sandbox for budding talents. I suppose there's no harm in trying. Why not? I like to see the moment a talent has been realized. Oh no. Relieved that they supported my odd idea, I felt a strange confidence rising. Cheerfully, I went behind the stage and picked an instrument I thought would suit. Oh no. Ashley and Patora both took a seat in the front row and watched in anticipation. I felt like a kid going through a toy box with how many options there were. How about this cello? Oh no. Go for it. Patora gleefully cheered me on as I gripped the bow and placed my fingers on the strings across the neck. I laid the bow across the string. Oh no. I was nervous, but if what Cyrus said was true, that my talent was waiting to be discovered, I couldn't wait to realize it. Here's the thing. If he's good at it, he's good at it. But there's been nothing that hints that he's ever bartended or has a musical, like he's done anything in music. I mean, he probably has some sort of, well, I don't even want to say athletic, because of him having the sprained foot earlier, but we were never given the context of how or why it was sprained. So yeah, I don't know. Just Echo, what are you good at? Personally, I would say if you're good at something, try to focus on that. I took a deep breath and drew the bow. And then... Oh no! The sound it created tore through the air like a giant rubber duck being unceremoniously stepped on. It was awful. I saw Ashley and Pandora flinch from the sound, but they still put on a brave face for my sake. Oh, oh no. I chuckled nervously and gently placed the instrument back where it originally was. Oh no. I guess that's not it, huh? I wobbled off the stage and plopped down wearily at the table with Ashley and Pandora. Oh, I was beyond embarrassed. Aw. Don't despair, you just haven't found it yet. Yeah, Echo. Not just anyone can handle an instrument. I mean, I thought that thing was supposed to be played like a giant guitar. I'm surprised you even knew how to approach holding it. I've seen performers before, so I just imitated what I saw. Oh, that makes sense. Dora held my hand in a firm grasp. Listen, we're going to find out what your talent is. Aww. If we have to play 100 instruments poorly, at least we'll know we're one step closer to reaching our goal. And Dora reassured me and Ashley gave me a warm smile. Yeah, thanks you two. Come, let's keep exploring. Yeah. Process of elimination. Woo. I left the jazz club. Out of the room, we ran into an unperturbed Cyrus smile in the hallway at the foot of the entryway. Hello there, having a fulfilling time exploring? Yeah, totally. I still felt a little exasperated from the chill on the set, but tried to play it off as best as I could. What's up with you? Don't tell me you're already tired. There's still a lot to explore. Mile, please. It isn't a race to make yourself familiar with all the different rooms. No, we were actually just about done over here anyway. It was just my luck that the room appeared to be soundproof. Based on their lack of adverse reaction, it seems neither Iris nor Mile heard the disastrous sound of the cello being poorly utilized. Yay! Then the sound of ringing in a voice rang through the speakers. Your attention, please. All students assemble in the second floor atrium for a special welcome ceremony. The five of us collectively made our way to the respective location, chatting about our discoveries along the way. Okay. So what's the mono creature gonna look like? The end of the second floor hall fed directly into a spacious area locale. Natural sunlight poured in from the high glass ceiling. The lush trees that framed the circular lobby reached toward the sky, while past the ring of decorative plants that occupied the second floor. Small shrubbery lined the base of the trees in a circular fashion, following and framing the ellipse shape of the room. A well-maintained living wall lined the first floor's foundation. A bronze globe at the very center of the atrium drew the room together. Light and warmth flooded my body, filling me with serenity. Whoa! Familiar, excitable voice cut through the air, disturbing that serenity. Missy and I. Hi! Check this place out. Dang, wouldn't it be awesome if they had a mini golf set up in here? How cute would that be? Plenty cute. Yeah, sure, whatever. Art and Missy entered the atrium from the foyer stairway entrance. I was surprised to see Missy still hanging with Art, along with a timid Stay trailing behind them, no less. Aww. Slowly our populace gathered in the center of the atrium. Vernon and Forte leisurely made their way in much later than the rest of us, but arrived regardless. I saw all the students I had previously met, but afterwards no one else came. Kind of a tiny class, huh? Yeah. 10 of us, including myself. Huh. Interesting. Is it only gonna be 10? Art whispered the same observation I made. It was true that our class was rather small, but were we really going to be doing any learning here? I conceded calling a group of students a class was only appropriate. A hologram visual was presented from the centerpiece globe. A familiar voice came in from the overhead speakers. It was the same announcer from earlier in the dining hall. Interesting. This is a special announcement indicating the welcome of all present students. The Preservation Project Group would like to humbly welcome you all to your provided safe house. As you are well aware, the safe house has been sequestered off from the growing concerns of disaster. You need not worry any longer of those concerns here. Disaster? I peered across the room to see expressions of affirmation. Everyone seemed to have relating concerns. I knit my brow. As ultimate students, we provided you with the best amenities and environments to most efficiently cultivate your skills and talents in utter safety. You may utilize the facilities to the fullest extent during the requested hours. However, do not think of this simply as a safe house. This location is more than equipped for you to thoroughly indulge yourselves with exquisite experiences. You are invited to enjoy yourself freely. Welcome all to the Apophagen? Awesome! Art audibly pumped his fist in the air. Though no one else displayed such a loud presentation of excitement, the other students were visually talking amongst themselves at the prospect of such a blessing regardless. The projection cut out as the announcement concluded. The students began to wonder again, likely to try out what the climbing center and spa lounge had to offer. Everyone seemed to be breaking into their own groups while I stood still. I was excited, but a feeling of uncertainty stirred in the depths of my mind, suffocating my enthusiasm. Did I really belong here? Oh, as far as I knew, I wasn't an ultimate student. No intense talents, no masterful skills, not even interesting experiences. I started to feel sick with anxiety. Hey, Echo, I'm going to the spa with Pandora. Would you like to join us? Ashley's voice brought me out of my thoughts. No thanks. You two go on ahead. I'm actually feeling a little tired from all of the running around. I think I'll just take a nap. Ashley looked at me with silent, understanding eyes. Alright then. If you change your mind, you know where to find us. She gave me another quick hug before pairing off with Pandora. Ash, why didn't you tell me about your talent? Oh, muttered under my breath before sulking off. Oh. I trudged down the stairs back to the first floor foyer. There I saw Kanan in almost the same position she was in when I first met her. She didn't tell me if she had an ultimate title when we introduced ourselves. Perhaps she doesn't have one either. I thought about approaching her to ask, but my throat felt dry. I didn't feel like being disappointed in the case she did have an ultimate talent. I quickly turned the corner before Kanan could notice me when click. I heard the sound of a shutter clicking. Turning at the sound, I saw Kanan developing a picture from an instant camera. Oh. Huh? How do you have a camera? What do you mean, how? I just thought we were disallowed our personal possessions. I didn't have anything in my room, and when I asked Ash, she just said she didn't have anything in her room either. Oh. I'm a photographer. I need my tools, don't I? So are you the ultimate photographer? Kanan didn't reply. She just bowed her head once in a slight nod. Oh no, now he's gonna feel crappy because she has one. Then that picture you just took, she reluctantly handed me the developed photo. Oh. Her photo captured the moment I had begun to turn down the hall to avoid speaking to her. I thought she hadn't noticed me. This is not what you're thinking. It's a horrible picture of you. I know it is, because it's not a picture of you, per se. Confused, I stared at the photo longer. I'm not a portrait photographer. I specialize in a composition form called... I don't even want to try to pronounce that, I'm sorry. Which translates literally to back figure in German. I don't expect you to understand. Okay. I listlessly handed the photo back to her. That's interesting. Kanan silently took the photo and stuck it in her pocket before occupying herself with her camera once more. But I admit I didn't make an attempt to sound enthused. In truth, I wasn't. Kanan did have an ultimate talent after all. Oh, if that was the case, what was I doing here? My heart and mind were racing. Am I just an anomaly? Was this all a mistake? Did I accidentally take the spot of an actual ultimate student was meant to take? No way. My voice croaked in desperation. This lavish mansion was meant to protect ultimate students, those students and their wide-reaching, influential skills. Those students who were dexterous masters of their craft. Those students whose charismatic aura reassured my averageness. Those students who created nostalgia-inducing delights. Those students who won races upon races with pure skill. A repulsion rose in my stomach. I felt my breath short and my chest tighten. Suddenly I felt weak. What's wrong with you? You're shaking. I barely heard Kanan. I leapt for the front door. I needed to evacuate myself from the overbearing presence of the people who accomplished near impossible feats at such a young age. I was just an insignificant bug who wandered into a lion's den. I can't compete. I don't belong here. The door handled so tightly I saw my knuckles turn white, but soon... Oh. I only saw black. Oh. I wearily opened my eyes. I was in bed, back in my personal room, or so I thought. Forte was reclining in a love seat at the corner of his room, coming over what looked like sheets of music. I was in Forte's room. Oh, you're awake. Why are we in Forte's room? He set the leaflet down before approaching me with an offering of water. I graciously accepted the cup and gathered my thoughts. My right hand was tingling. After gaining my composure, I managed to croak out a question. Forte, what happened to me? Curious. That's what I would like to know. Oh, what do you mean? Well, after the welcome announcement, I inspected the jazz club, but was quickly uninterested in the venue. Went downstairs to retreat to my personal quarters for the afternoon, but was promptly stopped at the foot of the stairs by Kanan. She said you collapsed at the foot of the foyer's front doors. Kanan told me to keep an eye on you and quickly left. I scoffed. How considerate of her to have someone else take care of me. But why you collapsed, she did not say. Came back to me. I wasn't behaving clearly. Yeah, I remember now. I was talking to Kanan in the foyer, but I felt a need to escape and was electrocuted when I grabbed the foyer door handle. Electrocuted? Forte was appalled. On the other hand, felt nothing. I took another sip of water and closed my eyes. I felt wildly fatigued. Forte looked at me with a concerned silence for a minute. Echo, it might not be my place to say, but you shouldn't feel a need to escape. We're all being generously treated with a safe location to relax and away from danger. No, you don't understand. I don't have an ultimate talent like the rest of you. My head drooped in shame, regret, and humiliation. Aww. I don't have any skills or talents to offer the world. He fell silent again. Be that as it may, you still are a peer who shouldn't feel outcast from the rest of the group. You must be with us for a reason. Gazed into the water cup blankly. Come, the rest of the group is in the dining hall. I believe they are just starting dinner. Forte placed a firm hand on my shoulder before offering his hand to help me out of bed. I complied quietly. Oh, poor Echo. He didn't deserve to be shocked. But at the same time, we shouldn't act brash. Dining hall was fully occupied by our small class. But yeah, why is there 16 seats if there's only 10? Hey, there you are. Art waved at me from the end of the table as I entered the dining hall, causing everyone's heads to turn. Ashley and Pandora quickly ran to my side. What happened to you? Are you okay? Folks, please, allow Echo to have a seat before bombarding any questions. The rest of the class paused their dinner as Forte helped me to an open seat by Ashley. Kanan wasn't at the table, rather she was standing next to the entryway, and she must have noticed me looking at her and turned away once more. Before I could confront her about what happened in the foyer, Missy placed a pork cutlet meal before me. Ashley wouldn't stop fretting in concerns to your well-being, so I took the liberty of getting a meal ready for you whenever you decide to come down. Aww, Missy! This is just what I needed. How did you know? I didn't. Perhaps I was just lucky. She shrugged indifferently, but I saw her mouth turn a small grin. She seemed satisfied with having pleased me. Aww. Gave her a small smile back and helped myself to a small portion to regain my energy. My little community had dinner together. Conversation lightly touched on everyone's mutual awareness of the Preservation Project. It was a project in which ultimate students who signed up would be placed in a protective custody to preserve their skills to benefit the future. Similar stories of talent discovery arose. Certain students grew up in an environment where all they knew was that particular skill, yet they still rose to super excel beyond wildest expectations. I, of course, had no place in the dialogues. I paid no specific attention to the chatter, my mind going blank with white noise whenever the topic of ultimate talents came up. As we all finished our meals, Missy and Cyrus offered to pick up the dishes, as everyone else restlessly waited to hear what had happened to me. I really have no idea how worried I was. Ashley was holding my hand tightly, and I was feeling up to it. Would you mind talking about what happened? I glanced over at Conan, next to the entryway. Her face was an iron mask. While I was feeling tired from running around the mansion, exploring stuff with welcome, I was on the second floor each room. I decided to go back to my personal room for a nap. Going down to the foyer, I was curious about the front door. Once I got outside, so naturally I grabbed the door handle, but was electrocuted by it. Forte found me collapsed and carried me back to his room to rest. You were electrocuted by the door handle? Perhaps we should investigate. What? And get electrocuted ourselves? Of course not. Simply want to inspect the door handle for any suspicious mechanisms. We should also check the floor maps again to see if there are any other similarly rigged exits. What would this accomplish? But ensure our safety so that nothing like this happens again. But our safety as ultimate students in the Preservation Project Safe House has already been comprised by the existence of such a trap. The group fell silent. Cyrus was right. It seemed as if we had already fallen into some kind of trap the moment we woke up. So we're just going to do nothing? Conan's indifferent voice broke the silence. Conan's right. We shouldn't sit idly by after our friend Echo was put in danger. We ought to investigate, if not as an insurance measure, but to get to the bottom of the trap that caused such harm. The group agreed and went their separate ways to search for clues, but before anyone could get very far, an announcement rang in. Nighttime? It is now 9 p.m. Nighttime will begin at 10 p.m. Facilities will be closed after until 7 a.m. the next morning. Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Okay. Seems like we'll just have to suspend the investigation until tomorrow. There's no use in wandering around aimlessly in the dark. So I suggest you all rest up. Realize the situation is dire, but please do your best to save your energy for tomorrow. Sounds like a plan. We shall meet here tomorrow morning for breakfast and discussion. Eesh, some first day, huh? One by one, everyone filtered out of the dining hall, low, concerned murmurs filling the corridors. There's gotta be 16, right? 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Actually, stop me back in the dining hall as the last few left. Like Echo, I'm sorry if you felt hurt that I didn't tell you about my talent. Huh? How did you know? I'm your best friend, aren't I? I can tell when you're distraught. Oh. It was after that special welcome announcement. I noticed you were off. It must have been difficult feeling like you don't belong. I admit it's all been awfully overwhelming. Never meant to keep it from you. It's just, I feel like being involved with me could only ever cause trouble. Not the horse racing aspect, but the ultimate student status aspect. To get tied up with such intense people could only amount to ultimate levels of trouble. As you know, I'm your friend through and through. I don't think being friends with Ashley Westbridge, Horse Girl, is any trouble at all. Ashley giggled. Aww. Aww. You really are a good friend, of course. Aww. Adorable. We made our way back to the living quarters hall and said our goodnights. Before entering my room, I saw Art and Lyle lingering in the halls. You two? Something. Oh. In fact, nope. In fact, we're having a strategy meeting. Strategy meeting? Art asked me if perhaps our being locked in a mansion situation is a big puzzle. Think about it. Escape rooms exist, so maybe this mansion is just one giant escape room. Admit it's not impossible, and it does sound interesting, right? So, what do you think? I'm not sure yet. I have a feeling it's some convoluted ARG scheme. ARG? Alternate reality game. It's a type of game that is interacted with through different media experiences, whether it be online or in real life. Tasks range from decrypting audio logs on a website to doing something odd like cleaning up local cemeteries. See, given those examples, it's possible that defuse an electrocuting door could be added to that list of tasks, right? Well, they're typically employed to the public to boost attention for a product. What the product is in our scenario, I'm not certain. And if this is an ARG, there must be a puppet master that's setting these things up, much like an escape room's game master. Escape room and ARG sound pretty similar in terms of involvement and puzzle solving. I suppose they're not entirely different entities. Wow, you got it all figured out already. Puzzles are my strong suit. I said goodnight and left Art and Lyle to conclude their strategy meeting as I returned to my personal room. Yay! Okay. Felt the mental and physical exhaustion hit me all at once as I let myself collapse onto the bed. To think I'd be stuck in a luxury mansion with super talented students. My life before this moment had hardly been as eventful as this single day. I lived a rather average life with as little trouble one could hope for. It was almost utopian in a sense. Never thought it boring or repetitive. It was like my mundane life caused me to be a little more worrisome than any other person, likely as a will to keep everything the same going forward. However, the strange situation threw me in a state of disarray. I was wholly out of my element. Above all, I couldn't help but feel guilty for making Ashley worry. Whatever it is I found myself in, I clearly didn't have a place. I sighed heavily. Should get some proper rest. The room was mysteriously fixed with a few sets of my clothes and the closet of the personal bathroom. I let my body relax under the repetitive rhythm of a warm shower. Crawling under the weighty covers, I turned down the lights and let my eyes slowly drift closed. Tomorrow, what were we going to discover? Ooh. The moon. La Luna. Ooh. What's in the middle? Ooh. Okay. I still have quite a lot of questions. Like, just, is it really only going to be 10? Actually, that's the only question I have. Is it only going to be 10 students? Opened my eyes at the sound of the alarm. My personal room, I set up from bed and took in the surroundings. So the events of yesterday weren't part of some kind of strange dream. My personal room that I initially thought was luxurious and comfortable now felt oppressive. It wasn't mine. It couldn't be, since this mansion we found ourselves in was for ultimate students. I was reminded of my mediocrity and let my head fall back on the pillow. Ugh. I don't want to see everyone. I grumbled and drew the covers over my head, uselessly trying to will away the shame of yesterday. Aww. Ashley. I heard Ashley's muffled voice through the door. Good morning, Echo. Just coming to check on you. I'll just give you a minute. I'll be right out. After getting properly dressed, I met Ashley outside my door in the living quarters hallway. Good morning, Ash. And walked closely down the hall to the foyer. You slept alright last night? Yeah, I slept alright considering. I hope you're not feeling too down about this whole situation. I'm still coming to terms with it, but I'm feeling a little better after getting rest. And besides, everyone has been really nice. Yeah, that's good to hear. You've always been good at bouncing back. Oh. In the foyer, we were met with 2 other students loitering outside the dining room. Sorry, I'm not a morning person. Neither am I, but I'm really curious about the door. The door seems scary. Good morning, you say, Lyle. Good morning. Let's investigate to our best ability, yeah? No. You seem better, Echo. Nothing a good night's rest can't take care of. True that. Yeah, morning. It's weird. I'd be having dinner right about now, but I'm waking up instead. Huh? What do you mean? One of my watches is set to my hometown time. It says it's 7:43 p.m. Sunday, 6th of December. 7:43 p.m. It's a 12-hour difference from now. Oh, date checks out. I was just thinking that the winter solstice will be coming up in about 2 weeks or so. Assuming we're somewhere westward from today's date, today would be Saturday. Guess since we're all from different places, the time for certain people would be a little different. Even so, all our alarms were set to the same current time, so we'd eventually end up on a uniform schedule, right? Yeah, like recovering from jet lag. A bit unfortunate for those with larger time differences, though. Winter, it's too cold, but the new year is fun. Oh. In the dining hall, the familiar warm aroma of fresh bread wafted through the room, my senses soft in comfort. Wait, but it said... Hold on. Unless they were alluding to Pandora, there's an ultimate kitchen hand, or chef hand, right? So wouldn't that mean that there's more than 10? Pandora placed a basket filled to the brim with freshly baked delicacies at the center of the dining table. Ooh. Morning, you two. You've been working hard, huh? Of course, I had to get an early start if I wanted to indulge you all with some treats to begin the morning. I felt the sweet and savory fragrance seep into my body, the warmth of a sun-kissed dewdrop-covered morning. The smell alone was sublime. Aww. Such a lovely setting. Yeah, it would almost be a shame to eat it. Almost. We wouldn't be doing Pandora justice if we didn't enjoy it. If you kind. That's alright, we'll wait for the others. Sat at the dining table with Ashley and waited patiently for the rest of the class to arrive. The rest of the class filtered in, and we began to help ourselves to Pandora's treat, as well as beverages provided by the automated menu. After we all settled in, Missy stood at the head of the dining table to begin the discussion. Good morning, all. Trust you all had a good night's rest. Our topic this morning will consist primarily of the problematic nature of the foyer's front doors. We will also be investigating the rest of the mansion for any other exits that might have a similar mechanism keeping us from escaping or leaving. We may split into groups or investigate as individuals, but if you find anything at all, please utilize the digital kiosk found in the room you're in to relay a message. Relay a message? Did the digital kiosk even do that? Yes. I discovered it with Cyrus before we retired to our rooms last night. As it turns out, the digital screens are not just for displaying maps or the specified function provides in its resident home. The functions is a remote messaging system between all the digital kiosks in the mansion. For example, it can be used to communicate between the first floor to the second floor. We can assume further floors as we gain access to them. It's a rather rudimentary feature, though. One would scan their bracelet on all screens across the mansion to unlock the feature and type using the on-screen keyboard. Okay. Cannot send to specific recipients, however. Once you complete and send the message, it will show up on the screen for about 2 minutes before deleting itself. For the most part, the messaging system is used to translate the voice announcements to text for those who are hard of hearing. This mansion truly is all-encompassing in its endeavors to accommodate all. And that is precisely why we must investigate the region the mansion itself would cause its residents harm. Yeah, the group anonymously agreed. The meeting concluded as we finished the breakfast. Also, really quickly, let me... Settings. Can I... Okay, yeah. Hold on. Yeah, I wanna... There you go. Everyone decided to split up and search one room themselves. Okay. Which room are we searching? While I was still deciding where to go, Lyle approached me. Hey, Echo, would you mind coming with me to investigate the foyer doors for a moment, huh? Why me? Because you're the one who experienced the shock firsthand. I was wondering if we could go back and retrace your steps to find clues along the way. Guess we could, but in all honesty, there's not a lot to retrace, I don't think. Nonsense. There's no harm in a second look with a fresh pair of eyes, yeah? You might see something different this time around. In the foyer, Missy was already doing her own investigating, intensely staring at the walls. So what exactly were you doing yesterday? I thought carefully about what I was going to say. I didn't want to tell anyone that I had been worrying about not having a talent, which led me to reaching for the door handle in the first place. I thought I'd be outcast if others knew I wanted to run away. To the welcome announcement, I was feeling a little tired from running around earlier that day, so I went back downstairs to my personal room, and like I said at dinner last night, in passing I was curious about the door and wanted to go outside. Is that so absurd a reason to want to reach for the door? Well, not to get defensive, I was just wondering if you saw anything suspicious along the way. Suspicious. Kanan immediately came to mind. Forte said she just left me collapsed for him to take care of. Why did she flee after I collapsed? I can't really think of anything at the moment. Huh. Guess I'll have to dig a little deeper in the scene of the crime. Thanks, Echo. I'll investigate my own from here. I don't know that I helped all that much, but you're welcome. I went over to the door and inspected the surroundings, carefully tracing the panels for any hidden mechanisms. And meanwhile, I was curious. I wondered if Forte would help me figure out what went on with Kanan's disappearing act. Okay. Forte was unsurprisingly in the theater, inspecting the backstage area. Hello, Echo. Doing well, I suppose. Or I hope. A little worried about the electrocuting door, but fine nonetheless. Excellent. I wish for you to keep your spirits high despite the scare. Should you need any assistance, I shall offer my services. Yeah, about that. I want to ask you about yesterday. Thought you might want to know more. However, the truth is as so. What I told you yesterday is all the information I have. I see. I admit I didn't expect much more than what he told me. The story seems straightforward enough, especially considering the emergency. Maybe you could tell me if you noticed anything odd? Forte paused. I suppose there was the trifling fact that Kanan fled up to the second floor right away. It's strange. Had I been so startled by such an event, I might have retreated back to my quarters on the first floor instead. Upstairs, huh? Rather than Kanan fleeing the scene, I can't particularly think of anything to note. I suppose the whole ordeal was quite frightening. I'm sorry, Echo. I know it's a dire situation, but honestly, I'm not particularly equipped for this sort of thing. The mental hoops and note-taking required for an investigation are much too overwhelming. That's okay, I appreciate the thought, and actually that little tidbit helps. Does it now? Bravo for figuring something out. Yay! So that means Kanan went either to the spa, rock climbing, atrium, or there's one more place I don't remember. Or maybe I want to go use the digital kiosk, or who knows. Made my way through the foyer, past an intensely focused Lyle and Missy, and up the stairs to the second floor. At the top of the stairs, I saw the digital kiosk light up, displaying a message on screen. Hi, climbing center. Well, it's certainly working. I paid no further attention to the message and continued on. Where could she be? Toward down the hall past the jazz club. Oh, that's what it was, jazz club. Climbing center and spa. However, my search came up short. Indeed. Upon entering the atrium, I saw her sitting by her lonesome in the center. Kanan. Before I could confront her again, a ringing sound played and an announcement followed. It is now 9 a.m. of the second day. Please make your way to the second floor atrium for a special announcement. Oh, what now? A few students that were already on the second floor made their way over quickly. Ashley, Art, and Cyrus. Hey, did you all see my message? Yes. Hello. Right back at you. Cool, it works. Yay. Well, at least we discovered something from Art's larking about. Okay. The rest of the students from downstairs arrived shortly after. Lyle, Missy, Forte, Say, and Pandora. Now what could this be? Maybe some third floor opened up? That might prove helpful. I haven't found much on my end. Whatever it is, can't they just use the message system thing instead of making us walk all the way up here? With all students gathered in the atrium once again, the bronze globe projected an emblem. But this emblem was different. The voice that announced the following was different. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you've been enjoying your special vacation away from it all. That looks like a bird. Voice was more high energy, like some sort of radio host or sports announcer. This is an extra special announcement for the students with us today. You've been cordially invited to play a heart-pounding, soul-searching, excitement-inducing game. A game. That's right, a game, and not just any game. This is the beyond universal, glamorously popular game that many students like yourselves get the privilege to play. Well, yes, it's the mutual killing game. Mutual killing game. The mutual killing game. A game of hope and despair. A game of allies and betrayal. A game of cause and consequences. It's all so thrilling. Yes, indeed. You are all gathered here today by your own volition to participate in the festivities. To sign up for the Preservation Project is to sign yourself to this exclusive game of life and death itself. Upon hearing that detail, I saw the other student's face go pale with shock. We were all thought to be gathered in a place of safety. That idea was apparently a farce. What the hell is happening? My cry was futile. The announcement was completely automated, and the horrible things it was saying didn't stop. This delightful game will take place over 7 days in the very halls you explored just a day ago. If you'd like to leave early, then follow this one very simple rule. Kill a fellow student without getting caught. Trying to leave by any other means will result in consequences, as some of you may have learned firsthand from my little jolt of discovery. Though I can't see why you would want to leave anyway. Inside, you have all sorts of lovely accommodating amenities. Live a luxurious life within these wonderful walls, that is, if you can survive. You kill without getting caught, the ultimate prize, an amazing prize befitting an ultimate student, awaits the victor. I know, it's a lot of information to take in at once. We will allow you to absorb the information for the remainder of the day, so relax in the spa lounge, go climbing, but tomorrow the real fun will begin. Oh boy. The announcement ended on one final disgusting note before cutting out. Glass was in absolute shock. No way. It can't be. Wait. What is this? Yeah. It's like a twisted joke is what it is. Everyone was murmuring amongst themselves. There isn't anyone who would take that dreadful announcement seriously, is there? Pandora voiced the question at the back of everyone's minds. Haha, how could one? It was merely an awful jest. There's no way any one of us could commit such an act against friends. Who said we were friends? Okay. Yeah, like I said earlier, he is the Kokichi. Of course you would say. Who said we were friends? Oh, goodness. Who? Who knows? Maybe one of you is the puppet master running the shtick. This is turning out to be more interesting than that diffuse and electrocuting door puzzle. Hehe, this ARG is fun. Lyle, what on earth are you talking about? You think this is a game? Well, I mean, what else could I be talking about? I'm the ultimate puzzle master. Yeah, and it was said as a game. Being a participant here is simply a test of my skill. I'll figure this puzzle out yet. Don't worry. Yeah, so it's only going to be 10 students. Okay. The rest of us were paralyzed in the atrium. The immense gravity of the situation was oppressive. No one said a word. Eyes were anxiously darting around the room to see who took the announcement seriously and who didn't. To think that just this morning we were having a communal breakfast. The atmosphere was unbearably heavy. I stood there in a cold sweat. I was dumbfounded. It was a killing game, specifically targeting ultimate students. It was selfish to think of this during a moment when all our lives were potentially in danger, but I don't belong. I'm not an ultimate. Also, poor Ashley. Like, poor Echo and Ashley. They know each other. Please don't make this a Makoto Naegi situation. I really didn't belong here. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Or well, actually, maybe this would be good though, because say Echo wasn't a part of this. Echo could be a motive for Ashley, but now that they're together. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Anchor's away. Anchor. Echo Pine. Hi, Echo. Zero. Missy Vesper. Art. Say. Cyrus. So Zero is the headmaster, maybe? Ashley. Kanon. Forte. Pandora. Lyle. Okay, no, it's just the 10. Okay. So, short killing game. Got it. So I guess we're looking at a 3 to 4 chapters, maybe? Because typically, with the 16 students, it's Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is a triple murder, or triple elimination. So, from 16 to 14, 14 to 12, 12 to 9, 9 to 7, and then 7 to 5. But we're only working with 10. So 10 to 8, 8 to 6. So if there is a double murder in Chapter 3, that's 6 to 3. Ooh. I will be shocked if there is a double murder, knowing that. Huh. View the student roster from the main menu. Okay. Undeterred by the horrifying announcement, Lyle left the atrium in an almost giddy manner, smirk painted on his face in a stark contrast to our own astonished expressions. So, you know what? I'm gonna say this is a good point to end. I do apologize, but we got through the prologue. So, we're just gonna do this chapter by chapter. So, yeah. We are going to save. Alrighty. So, yeah. I hope everybody has a good, great, amazing rest of their day. I will see everybody later. Till then, bye-bye. Wee!